Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another PFL fight prediction video. In this video, I'll be predicting some of the key fights for PFL 2021 event number 9. So without further ado, let's get to our first fight that I'll be predicting. So in our first fight, we have in the light heavyweight division, Cesar Ferreira versus Martin Hamlet. And how I see this one right here. So UFC guys and people with the UFC kind of image attached to them still have not been looking the best in PFL at the moment. You have had other guys come in there have success, and even guys that from like the very low end of the UFC has success. But these guys that kind of been middle or even at the top of the UFC that kind of leave and have come over here have not looked the best in a long time. And I'm not saying these guys are necessarily the cream of the crop. With Ferreira, I definitely think he's kind of more of the mid or lower end, especially as far as when he exited the UFC. But that's not as far as I'm going with this one. I'm saying all this to say all that for this one. Maybe not my next prediction on this card, but for this one right here, I feel like he has a skill set to beat Martin Hamlet. You got Hamlet, who's still a very raw fighter in ways. He's just your typical protein shake drinking wrestler. He's big, powerful. But yeah, with Martin Hamlet, I just feel like, yeah, he's your traditional wrestler, like that has been for all times in MMA. Like, they're big, they're strong, they can wrestle one-dimensional. Like, they rely heavily on being able to wrestle you and control you, either tap you out with not the best jiu-jitsu or a lot of strongman jiu-jitsu, or to smother you and drop ground and pound on you. But they themselves can't take much damage. So as soon as you start to stuff a takedown, you start to touch them a little bit, they start to fade, they start to crack. They can't push the best pace, especially when there's somebody fighting back against them. They can wrestle you all day when you're just up underneath them. But when you start getting back to your feet, working and making them have the work, they fade out real easily. And I say they almost feel like they're just wrestlers in MMA. They're not like full MMA fighters. I feel that's how I feel about Martin Hamlet. And Cesar Ferreira is not a small guy. He's strong himself. I feel like he's a much better striker, the much more rounded fighter, much more experienced fighter. He does got a chin on. I mean, I'm not saying chin. He is chinny, but like I said, I don't think Martin Hamlet's striking is anything to really write home about. Still got that big wrestler body and that power. So, there's opportunities, but I'm not going to lean too much to that at all. And I feel like I said, Cesar Ferreira is just definitely Cesar Ferreira is definitely just a more fleshed out, well-rounded fighter. I think he's able to address the wrestling without much issue. Our striker probably dig into those legs, dig in those body with kicks, start to touch him up, and then tap him out, I think, in the second round. Probably later in the second round to really breaking him down over the course of those first round and some change. So in this fight, I have Cesar Ferreira via second round submission. Now to our next fight, we have in the light heavyweight division, Emiliano Sordi versus Antonio Carlos Jr. And how I see this fight right here is, let me see. I just feel like Junior has been kind of showing me the same exact fighter for a long period of time. It's not like he's been looking all that great. He should have beat Uriah Hall. Like, that should have been his win. But outside of that, he's been losing. Like, he has not been looking the best. Like, and I think Ian Heinisch kind of exposed both him and Ferreira in his fights against both of them, where it kind of went the same way. Like, they both started off the fight real good, dominating him, taking down and controlling him. But Heinisch kept getting back up, kept working, and then by the later rounds, or after they were tired of trying to, just run through him, he just outlasted them, stayed in their face, and beat them. Like, literally just, they only had much for him. Like, they were tired, and he just kept walking them down, out striking them, out working them, and they just lost the war of attrition, simply. And I feel like with Carlos Jr., I don't feel like his wrestling is all that impressive. He's strong. He got some solid BJJ. He's a world champion. He got the super heavyweight level or whatnot, or the super heavyweight class. But like I said, Jr. is an impressive fighter, but I don't think his striking nothing to write home about. But really, the best thing he's going to present in this fight, I feel like Sordi is the better striker. I feel like Sordi has shown pretty substantial takedown defense. I feel like she's going to keep us on the feet, make Junior work, and be able to outlast him, land the better combinations, and win the war of attrition in this one. I don't think he stops Carlos Jr., but I definitely think it's a case where he can address the grappling for the most part, keep this fight on the feet, fight at a higher pace, maintain that pace, and outlast Junior to a decision. So in this one, I have Emiliano Sordi via decision. Now to our co-main event, we have in the featherweight division, Chris Wade versus Bubba Jenkins. I don't know why I struggle with Bubba Jenkins right there, but again, Chris Wade versus Bubba Jenkins. And how I see this one in the featherweight division is, this one has felt very simple to me. Like, I feel Chris Wade and Bubba Jenkins are just two wrestlers. I mean, they definitely full well-rounded mixed martial artists, but they definitely still not too well-rounded to the case you don't just put them in the category of wrestlers. Like, they're definitely wrestlers. And Bubba Jenkins is the better wrestler, more experienced, more accomplished wrestler. I feel like he'll be the stronger wrestler. I feel like Wade's pace is better than Jenkins, like as far as maintaining his cardio is better. But I don't think he has really anything along with that to make it as effective. It's not like he's a super amazing striker. It's not like he has super knockout power. So he's not really a big knockout threat at all. He's a decision fighter himself, not a great submission artist. So it's just like a wrestler versus a wrestler. It's gonna play out like a wrestling match, and the better wrestler is gonna win. And I think that's gonna be Bubba Jenkins. Like I feel like Bubba Jenkins will control the wrestling. He'll be the more explosive wrestler, the more technical wrestler, and should be able to turn this into a wrestling matchup. And I know Wade's probably gonna be in a little bit. He's gonna start getting caught up in that wrestling match. Like I said, even not getting caught up in the wrestling match, I feel like Bubba Jenkins is the better striker and is more dangerous on the feet too, as far as damage wise. But really, like I said, in this fight, all Wade has over, I would say over Jenkins is cardio and pace, but not to the degree enough that it will allow him to get a decision victory or any type of victory over Jenkins. Like on the ground, I feel like it's gonna be a wrestling match. It's not like Wade's gonna be threatening with any real significant submissions. But yeah, I see this as stylistically, I don't see any real path for Wade to win in this one. And I think this is a fight really Bubba Jenkins should be looking to put a statement performance on, and like to say, oh yeah, my last fight, it was not the best decision. It was close, and I was all tired, and I wasn't the best looking in that one. This is a fight I got to make a statement in, but I felt it's gonna be a decision. Like he's gonna fight a smart fight and not really try to make too many take too many risks and just get that decision victory and try to advance on to the next stage of this tournament. So in this fight, I have Bubba Jenkins via decision. Now to our main event, we have in the featherweight division, Brendan Loughnane versus Mavlid Khaybulaev. And how I see this one right here. So first off, I would lean to Khaybulaev, but ultimately I'm gonna lean to Loughnane in this one. I feel like Khaybulaev definitely brings a lot of he's a problem. Without a doubt, that man is a problem. Like very powerful, dangerous on the feet, especially with that flying knee, got heavy hands, got him very smothering, wrestling, very strong. But that's about it. Like every other Russian pretty much. Like you got your typical Russian starter pack. Freakishly strong, wrestle, born with a jock strap on their head. Like you got your typical Russian MMA fighter and Russian competitor in general. But definitely a special bit to him. Like he's definitely on the higher end premium Russians. Like he's not on like the lower end. Like he got the full starter pack and all the DLC, or not all the DLC. He's not there yet, but he got a lot of the DLC. He didn't get all the patches just yet, but he got a lot of what he needs out there. But ultimately, I feel like I've seen some things from him that I did not like, or at least one in particular I did not like. When I look at his wrestling, I don't see nothing super like all that impressive necessarily. Like it's not a lot of great chain wrestling. It's not that technical. Like say like a guy like Khabib, he's just so sneakily technical. I feel like Khabib is well, I don't know, these different guys. By the way, when I see a fighter, when I see like the next step or the next thing I really want to see them for them, I want to see much better chain wrestling. I want to see much better situational awareness. But really for Mavlid Khaybulaev, it's just the case that a lot of times he's just a better wrestler out there, or he's just a bigger, stronger guy out there in those wrestling situations. And he is making the small, subtle changes, but I really want to see more from him. And also the thing I feel kind of drove me most back from him was the Bubba Jenkins fight that was a draw. And in that fight he was looking good. He was coming out there, he was really like dominating Bubba Jenkins, but the moment he got hurt, he turned into a shy dog or like a shy cat. Like he started was scared to engage. Like you were just doing all that stuff. You were flying knee. You were just not respecting a single thing this guy had. You were just coming right at him. And the moment you got tagged, you just froze up and let the fight be a draw. Or maybe he felt like he did enough and he didn't want to risk getting knocked out. By the way, you can't just get hit and get hurt and then all of a sudden just shell up like that. That's not a good look. And going against Loughnane, I definitely feel like Khaybulaev can present some big threats. I definitely think his wrestling is going to be a big issue. I think his strike, I think his power is going to be a big issue for Loughnane. His strength is going to be an issue for Loughnane. But I feel like Loughnane does have the takedown defense. I do feel like Loughnane is a longer, more technical fighter, more well-rounded fighter. And I feel like he should be able to keep this fight on the feet for the most part. And I feel like he can address it. I do worry about his last fight where he got tired in that third round, but really mostly was putting so much effort in, maybe got too excited and got tired against Tyler Diamond. But I don't expect him to do the same. I don't feel like he's gonna learn from that fight, coming in better shape, and also not get caught up in the moment as much and burn his gas out, or just get so excited. Even in the case you're not going out there, you're doing thousands of punches, trying to put your opponent away, just by getting your adrenaline to surge up like that and then settle down it can exhaust you. So I think in this fight, he's going to be privy to that and conserve himself a little bit better and react and handle the situation better no matter what presents himself, whether he hurts Khaybulaev or whether he's winning or whether it's a real tight matchup with a lot of wrestling. I feel like his cardio is going to be more on point, and he's going to control his excitement. And I feel like he can use that reach, use that length, be the much more technical striker, be the land clean counters, hurt Khaybulaev, cause him to freeze up, never stay stationary and make those takedowns easy for Khaybulaev, or even the thought of a takedown or the setup of a takedown. Really make it hard for Khaybulaev to find those takedowns or even set up those takedowns. Like that foot movement, mixing up high and low, punches and kicks, and solid takedown defense. And I feel like he'll be able to keep this fight on the feet for the most part, be able to address the wrestling. I'm not saying he's going to shut down Khaybulaev's wrestling at all, and I don't think he's going to stop Khaybulaev. But I do think he'll be able to probably hold Khaybulaev to 2 takedowns or less, or really more than even a takedown. Maybe Khaybulaev gets 4 or 5 takedowns, but probably hold Khaybulaev to maybe 2 minutes of control time, or I'm gonna say 3 minutes or less of control time, and be the cleaner striker, mix it up, and beat Khaybulaev to a decision in this one. So in this fight, I have Brendan Loughnane via decision. And that concludes my fight predictions for some of the key fights for PFL 2021 event number 9. And as always, thanks for watching.